안녕하세요. 미라클 리딩입니다. 다꿈부자습관 챌린지 14일차 되는 날입니다. 오늘은 72쪽에서 77쪽 읽어보도록 할게요. Searching for answers, the man went back to the neighborhood where he had spent so many happy moments as a boy. Years before, his parents had moved away, and the only times he had returned had been to visit the old man. The old man's house was empty now. A for sale sign planted in the lawn. He eyed the front porch swing where the old man had enjoyed spending his evenings. He walked up on the porch and sat down gingerly on the swing, afraid the old chains might snap. As he settled back against the worn wooden slats, the only sound he could hear was the cracking of the swing. He thought over all that he had learned from the old man. He knew he was now able to stay in the present more often, focusing on what was right now and paying attention to what was important. And he found it extraordinarily helpful. Whenever he concentrated entirely on what he was doing, he was happier and he certainly did a better job. He used what he learned from the past to improve the present. He had not repeated as many previous mistakes. He had discovered that planning for the future could often make the future better. But he still felt that he needed to put it all in perspective, especially now that he no longer had the old man to rely on. The man closed his eyes and gently swung back and forth on the swing, focusing only on the present. He felt peaceful. Gradually, he began to sense the old man sitting next to him on the porch. It was as if he were there. He could almost hear the old man's voice replaying their many conversations. Once again, he experienced the wisdom of the old man's words and felt the warmth of the old man's compassion. He wondered why the old man had spent so much time helping him and others to learn about the present. The old man had many demands on his time. Why had he chosen to spend it on sharing the present with others, rather than on more self-serving pursuits? The man continued swinging back and forth, eyes closed, now focusing his energy only on this question. Slowly, gradually, the answer began to emerge. The old man did these things because he had a purpose that extended beyond self-gain. His purpose, his reason for getting up in the morning, was to help others become happy and successful. In fact, everything the old man did carried with it a sense of purpose, whether it was teaching about the present, leading a company meeting, or spending leisure time with his family. The old man always acted with purpose, and it was this sense of purpose that tied the present, past, and future together and gave his life meaning. The man opened his eyes. This was it. This was the thread that pulled it all together. The man reached for his notepad. He wrote, "Living in the present, learning from the past, and planning for the future is not all there is. It is only when you live with purpose and respond to what's important about the present, past, and future, that it all has meaning. The man stopped and looked at the words he had just written. He thought about what they meant. He understood that living with purpose means not just knowing what to do, but why. Working and living with purpose is not some grand scheme or life plan. It is a practical approach for everyday life. It means rising every day and seeing what meaning it will hold for you and others as a result of your actions. He realized how you respond depends upon your purpose. When you want to be happy and more successful, it is time to be in the present moment. When you want the present to be better than the past, it is time to learn from the past. When you want the future to be better than the present, it is time to plan for the future. When you live and work with purpose and respond to what is important now, you are more able to lead, manage, support, befriend, and love. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.